Behind the glitz and glamour of one of the world's most famous families lies a story that millions can relate to, the complex reality of co-parenting after divorce. Kim Kardashian, global superstar and business mogul, has finally opened up about what it truly means to raise 4 children with her ex-husband Kanye West, and her words are striking a chord with parents everywhere who understand that when love ends, the hardest work often begins. In a world where every move is scrutinized and every decision becomes a headline, Kim has been navigating the treacherous waters of keeping her family intact while managing a relationship with someone whose unpredictability has become as famous as his music. This isn't just another celebrity drama, this is a raw, unfiltered look at the sacrifices, the struggles, and the strength it takes to put your children first when everything else is falling apart. Kim Kardashian's journey from wife to ex-wife hasn't been a private affair, and that's precisely what makes her recent candor about co-parenting so powerful. When she says it's not easy, she's not just making a casual observation, she's acknowledging a truth that resonates with countless divorced and separated parents who wake up every day trying to balance their own pain with their children's needs. The reality star and entrepreneur has 4 children with Kanye West, North, Saint, Chicago, and Psalm, and while their father is one of the most creative and controversial figures in modern entertainment, the responsibility of maintaining stability and normalcy falls heavily on Kim's shoulders. She's spoken about how she constantly works to shield her children from negativity, even when that negativity involves their own father, because in her mind, protecting their perception of Kanye is protecting their sense of security and identity. The complexity of Kim and Kanye's co-parenting situation extends far beyond typical divorced couple challenges. Kanye's very public struggles with mental health, his controversial statements, his unpredictable social media presence, and his divergent views on everything from education to religion to politics have created a minefield that Kim must navigate daily. She's had to answer difficult questions from her children about why daddy said this or why daddy did that, all while maintaining the delicate balance of not undermining Kanye as a father while simultaneously protecting her children from potential harm. Kim has expressed that she never wants her kids to hear her speaking negatively about their father, understanding that children internalize criticism of their parents as criticism of themselves. This level of emotional intelligence and restraint requires extraordinary discipline, especially when you consider that Kim herself has been hurt, frustrated, and undoubtedly angry at various points throughout their separation and divorce. One of the most profound aspects of Kim's approach to co-parenting is her commitment to presenting a united front, even when unity doesn't actually exist behind the scenes. She's talked about how important it is for children to feel that both parents love them and support them, regardless of how those parents feel about each other. This means swallowing her pride, biting her tongue, and sometimes agreeing to things she might not personally choose, all in the service of maintaining peace and providing her children with as much normalcy as possible. The Kardashian matriarch has also leaned heavily on her own mother, Kris Jenner, and her sisters for support, recognizing that she cannot do this alone. The village that's helping Kim raise her children includes nannies, security personnel, therapists, and an extended family that understands the unique pressures of life in the spotlight. Kim has been remarkably honest about the emotional toll this situation has taken on her personally. She's admitted to crying herself to sleep, to feeling overwhelmed by the responsibility of being the stable parent, and to worrying constantly about the long-term impact of this dynamic on her children. The pressure to be perfect, to never show weakness, to always have the right answer is immense, and it's compounded by the fact that millions of people are watching and judging every decision she makes. When Kanye has made public statements that contradict Kim's parenting choices or when he's shared private family matters without her consent, she's had to respond with grace and measured words, even when what she probably wanted to do was scream. This restraint isn't just about protecting her public image, it's about protecting her children from witnessing conflict between their parents. The differences in parenting styles between Kim and Kanye have been well documented. Kanye has expressed unconventional views about education, wanting to homeschool the children or send them to his own school, while Kim has opted for more traditional educational paths. Kanye has been vocal about his religious beliefs and how he wants those incorporated into the children's lives, while Kim takes a more moderate approach. These aren't small disagreements, These are fundamental differences in worldview that affect major life decisions for their children. Kim has had to learn when to compromise, when to stand firm, and when to simply let Kanye do things his way during his parenting time, trusting that the children will ultimately be okay because they have her consistent presence as an anchor. This kind of flexibility requires putting ego aside and focusing solely on what serves the children best, not what proves who's the better parent. Another dimension of their co-parenting challenge involves the practicalities of scheduling and logistics when both parents have demanding careers and public lives. Kanye's creative process is notoriously unpredictable. He might disappear into a studio for weeks or relocate to a different state to work on a project, and these patterns don't easily accommodate a structured custody arrangement. Kim has had to be the flexible one, adjusting plans, managing disappointment when Kanye doesn't show up as expected, and explaining absences to children who don't understand why daddy isn't there for important events. At the same time, she's building a billion-dollar business empire, filming a reality show, studying law, and trying to maintain some semblance of a personal life. The juggling act is exhausting, and Kim has been transparent about the fact that she often feels like she's failing at everything even when she's succeeding at most things. What makes Kim's situation particularly challenging is the intersection of co-parenting with Kanye's mental health struggles. Kanye has been diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and while he's been open about this at times, he's also been resistant to consistent treatment. For Kim, this means never quite knowing which version of Kanye she'll be dealing with: the brilliant, engaged father who shows up with creative energy and genuine love for his children, or the erratic, unpredictable person who makes decisions that concern her. She's had to educate herself about mental health, consult with professionals about how to talk to her children about their father's condition, and make difficult decisions about when to step in and when to step back. The stigma around mental illness adds another layer of complexity because Kim wants to destigmatize Kanye's struggles for her children while also setting appropriate boundaries to protect them from any potential negative impacts. Financial aspects of co-parenting typically create conflict for divorced couples, but in Kim and Kanye's case, both are extraordinarily wealthy, which removes some stress while adding other complications. There's no fighting over child support payments, but there are disagreements about lifestyle, about what's excessive versus what's normal for children of their privilege, and about the values they want to instill regarding money and materialism. Kim has spoken about wanting her children to understand the value of hard work despite growing up with every advantage, while Kanye's approach to parenting seems less concerned with these traditional lessons and more focused on creative expression and spiritual development. Finding middle ground when your financial reality is so far removed from most people's experience creates a unique set of challenges that require constant communication and negotiation. The public nature of their co-parenting adds a dimension that most divorced parents never have to consider. Every decision Kim makes is photographed, analyzed, and criticized. If she takes the kids on vacation without Kanye, she's accused of alienating them from their father. If Kanye posts about wanting to see his children more, social media erupts with opinions about who's right and who's wrong. Kim has had to develop a thick skin and learn to ignore the noise, focusing instead on what she knows to be true about her situation rather than what strangers on the internet assume. She's also had to teach her children, especially North who's old enough to potentially see things online, how to filter out negativity and understand that the public narrative doesn't always reflect private reality. This is a life skill that most kids don't need until much later, if ever, but Kim's children are learning it in real time. Despite all these challenges, Kim maintains that her priority will always be her children's well-being and their relationship with both parents. She's committed to the long game, understanding that how she handles this situation now will impact her children for the rest of their lives. She's choosing to take the high road even when it's painful, to protect Kanye's image as a father even when he's making it difficult, and to create a stable home environment that her children can depend on. This isn't about being a martyr or a saint, it's about being a mother who understands that her children didn't choose this situation and don't deserve to suffer because of it. Kim's honesty about how hard this is serves as a validation for every parent out there who's struggling with similar issues, proving that even with unlimited resources, co-parenting after divorce is one of life's most difficult challenges. The lessons from Kim's experience extend beyond celebrity gossip and into real wisdom that any co-parent can apply. Communication, even when it's hard. Consistency for the children, even when life is chaotic. Protection of the other parent's image, even when they don't deserve it. Seeking support from family, friends, and professionals rather than trying to do it all alone. And perhaps most importantly, the recognition that this isn't about winning or losing, it's about raising healthy, happy children who feel loved by both parents. Kim Kardashian may live an extraordinary life, but her co-parenting struggles are surprisingly ordinary, and her willingness to be vulnerable about them offers comfort to millions who are walking similar paths. Before we wrap up, make sure you're subscribed to this channel because we bring you the real stories behind the headlines, the human experiences behind the fame, and the lessons we can all learn from celebrities navigating life's biggest challenges. Drop a comment below telling us your thoughts on co-parenting, share your own experiences if you feel comfortable, and let's build a community of support for everyone trying to put their children first. Hit that share button to spread this message to anyone who might need to hear it, and ring the notification bell so you never miss when we post new content. Your engagement helps us grow and create more videos like this one. So here's the question that I want you to think about and share your perspective on in the comments. When co-parenting becomes this challenging, when do you stop protecting your ex-partner's image for the sake of the children, and when does honesty about their flaws become more important than maintaining the illusion of unity?